There comes a moment in every person's life when excuses stop working. A moment when you either decide to chase your future with everything you have, or you slowly watch your dreams become someone else's reality. That moment is right now. Not tomorrow, not next week, not when life gets easier, right now. Because every second you waste looking at what everyone else is doing is another second your future is waiting for you to show up. Your biggest competition isn't the person sitting next to you. It isn't the person with more money, better connections, or more experience. Your greatest competition is the distracted version of yourself. The version that starts but never finishes. The version that says, I'll do it later. The version that spends hours scrolling through other people's success instead of building your own. If you don't defeat that version, nothing else matters. Look around. Everywhere you turn, something's fighting for your attention. Notifications, entertainment, opinions, comfort, excuses. Every distraction has one mission: to separate you from your purpose. And the scary part is that distractions don't always look dangerous. Sometimes they look harmless. 5 minutes becomes an hour. 1 day becomes a month. 1 year becomes a decade. Suddenly you're wondering where your time went while someone else is living the life you once imagined. The people who change their lives are not always the smartest. They're not always the strongest. They're the ones who make a decision and refuse to let anything steal their focus. They wake up with a mission. They go to sleep knowing they gave everything they had. They understand that attention is a currency, and they refuse to spend it on things that produce nothing. If your dream is worth talking about, it's worth sacrificing for. Stop expecting extraordinary results from ordinary effort. Stop believing that success is supposed to feel comfortable. Greatness demands something from you. It demands your attention when you're tired. It demands your discipline when you're unmotivated. It demands your consistency when nobody is watching. That's the price. The question is simple. Are you willing to pay it? Too many people wait until they feel inspired before they start working. Winners don't wait for inspiration. They create it through action. They move even when they don't feel like moving. They study when everyone else is sleeping. They train when everyone else is making excuses. They stay committed long after the excitement disappears because they know feelings change, but discipline keeps moving forward. There will be days when nobody believes in you. Days when your progress feels invisible. Days when you wonder if all your effort is even making a difference. Those are the days that define your future. Anybody can stay focused when everything is going well. Real commitment is staying locked in when life gets hard. Real strength is showing up when nobody is clapping for you. Real confidence is continuing to work without needing constant validation. Every morning you wake up, your future is asking you one question: what are you willing to do today that you refused to do yesterday? Your answer is never found in your words. It's found in your habits. Your calendar tells the truth. Your daily routine tells the truth. Your actions expose what you truly value. If your dream is important, your schedule should prove it. Stop giving your best energy to things that don't move your life forward. Protect your mind. Protect your time. Protect your purpose. Not everyone deserves access to your attention. Not every conversation deserves your energy. Not every opportunity deserves your yes. Sometimes the most powerful word you can say is no. Every time you say no to distraction, you're saying yes to your destiny. Understand this. Focus is a skill. The more you practice it, the stronger it becomes. Every time you resist quitting, your discipline grows. Every time you ignore a distraction, your mind becomes sharper. Every time you choose progress over comfort, you're becoming the person your future requires. You don't need perfect conditions. You don't need everyone's approval. You don't need more luck. What you need is complete commitment. The kind of commitment that refuses to stop after one failure. The kind that gets knocked down and stands back up. The kind that keeps working in silence until the results become impossible to ignore. Imagine what your life could look like 1 year from now if you protected your focus every single day. Imagine the confidence you would build. Imagine the skills you would master. Imagine the doors that would open because you refuse to waste another moment. That future isn't reserved for a chosen few. It's available to anyone willing to stay locked in while everyone else gets distracted. Your future is watching every decision you make today. Every excuse pushes it further away. Every disciplined action brings it closer. You have the ability to change your story, but change demands concentration. It demands sacrifice. It demands relentless effort. The world doesn't reward people who are interested. It rewards people who are committed. So stop waiting. Stop doubting. Stop looking for shortcuts that don't exist. Lock your eyes on the goal. Ignore the noise. Silence the excuses. Let your actions speak louder than your fears. Let your consistency become your reputation. Keep showing up, keep improving, keep fighting. Because the day will come when people ask how you became unstoppable, and the answer will be simple. You protected your focus when everyone else gave theirs away. Every person dreams about becoming stronger, wiser, more successful, and more fulfilled. But dreams alone have never transformed a life. Growth begins the moment you stop negotiating with comfort. The life you want is waiting on the other side of the things you've been avoiding. Every challenge you've been running from, every difficult conversation you've been postponing, every fear you've been feeding instead of facing, those are the very places where your next level is hiding. Comfort feels safe, but it has a dangerous way of making you believe you're making progress when you're actually standing still. It whispers that tomorrow's a better day to begin. It convinces you that one more excuse won't matter. It tells you to wait until you're more confident, more prepared, or more motivated. But while comfort is speaking to you, opportunity is quietly walking away. Nothing extraordinary has ever been built inside an ordinary comfort zone. Strength is developed under pressure. Character is revealed during struggle. Confidence is earned through action. Every person you admire had to walk through seasons where quitting looked easier than continuing. They weren't fearless. They simply refused to let fear become the author of their story. Stop asking why life is difficult. Start asking what life is trying to teach you. Every obstacle carries a lesson that comfort could never provide. Failure teaches resilience. Rejection teaches persistence. Criticism teaches humility. Sacrifice teaches discipline. Every setback is building muscles that success alone could never develop. The pain you experience today can become the power that defines your tomorrow if you're willing to learn instead of surrender. Think about the strongest version of yourself. That person doesn't exist because everything went according to plan. That person exists because every disappointment became a lesson, every obstacle became training, and every difficult season became preparation. Growth doesn't happen when everything is easy. Growth happens when you choose to keep moving while every part of you wants to stop. There will be mornings when your bed feels more comfortable than your purpose. There will be moments when giving up seems more reasonable than pushing forward. There will be days when nobody notices your effort and no reward seems to be coming. Those are the moments that separate people who dream from people who transform their lives. Anyone can work when it's exciting. The real test is whether you'll continue when the excitement fades and only discipline remains. You cannot become someone new while holding on to every old habit. Every new level demands a new version of you. That means letting go of excuses, releasing limiting beliefs, and walking away from patterns that have kept you small. Growth often feels like loss before it feels like victory. You may lose comfort. You may lose convenience. You may even lose people who only like the version of you that never challenge yourself. But what you gain is worth far more than what you leave behind. Don't be afraid of pressure. Diamonds are not created in comfort. Steel is not strengthened without fire. Muscles do not grow without resistance. Every meaningful transformation follows the same principle. Resistance is not your enemy. Resistance is proof that something inside you is becoming stronger than it was yesterday. The world will often celebrate the final result while ignoring the lonely journey that produced it. People will admire your confidence without seeing the countless moments of self-doubt you overcame. They'll praise your success without understanding the sacrifices that built it. They'll notice your victories but overlook the nights you kept working while everyone else was asleep. That's why your motivation cannot depend on applause. It must come from a deeper place, a commitment to becoming the best version of yourself regardless of who notices. Your greatest breakthrough may be hiding behind the challenge you're trying to avoid. The conversation you fear might restore a relationship. The opportunity you're nervous about might change your career. The risk you've been delaying might unlock a future beyond your imagination. Fear has a way of making small obstacles appear impossible. Courage has a way of revealing that they were never as big as they seemed. Every day gives you a choice. Stay where you are and protect your comfort, or take one uncomfortable step toward the person you're becoming. One extra page, one extra workout, one more hour of focused effort, one brave decision. These small moments seem insignificant in the beginning, but repeated consistently, they build an extraordinary life. Greatness is never created in one giant leap. It's built one uncomfortable decision at a time. Remember that discomfort is temporary, but regret can last a lifetime. Years from now, you won't wish you had spent more time avoiding hard things. You'll wish you had taken more chances, believed in yourself sooner, and trusted that the struggle had a purpose. The pain of growth fades, but the rewards remain. The pain of staying the same may feel easier today, but it grows heavier with every missed opportunity. So don't run from the climb. Embrace it. Don't fear the pressure. Welcome it. Don't complain about the obstacles. Learn from them. Every challenge is shaping your mindset, strengthening your discipline, and preparing you for responsibility you couldn't carry before. You're not being punished by difficulty. You're being prepared through it. Stand up with determination. Face what you've been avoiding. Do the hard thing even when nobody is watching. Keep showing up when progress feels slow. Trust that every uncomfortable step is taking you somewhere comfort never could. Because the version of you capable of achieving extraordinary things is not waiting inside your comfort zone. That version is waiting just beyond your fear, just beyond your excuses, just beyond the place where most people decide to quit. Keep moving forward, because every step through discomfort is another step toward the life you were meant to live. Too many people think winning is a destination. They imagine success as one big moment, one lucky break, one perfect opportunity that changes everything overnight. But real victory doesn't happen in a single day. It is earned every single day, long before anyone notices your name, celebrates your accomplishments, or applauds your journey. Winning is built in the quiet moments when nobody is watching, when your choices reveal who you truly are. Every sunrise gives you a new chance to decide what kind of person you're going to be. You can wake up with excuses, or you can wake up with purpose. You can complain about yesterday, or you can create a better today. The difference between ordinary and extraordinary is rarely talent. It's the decision to keep showing up day after day, regardless of how you feel. Stop waiting for the perfect conditions. Stop believing success begins after everything in your life is finally organized. There will always be obstacles. There will always be unexpected problems. There will always be reasons to delay your goals. If you wait until life becomes easy, you'll spend your entire life waiting. Winners don't build their future because circumstances are perfect. They build it because their commitment is stronger than their excuses. Every small decision matters. The alarm clock rings. Do you get up or hit snooze? You plan to read. Do you open the book or scroll through your phone? You promise yourself you would train. Do you keep your word or create another excuse? These moments seem insignificant, but they are shaping your identity. Every disciplined decision is casting a vote for the person you're becoming. Every excuse is strengthening the habits you're trying to escape. People often admire confidence without understanding where it comes from. Confidence isn't created by talking about success. It's created by keeping promises to yourself. Every time you finish what you started, your confidence grows. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, you prove that your words have value. Real confidence is not loud. It's the quiet certainty that comes from consistent effort repeated over time. There will be days when you feel unstoppable. Everything flows. Your energy is high and progress comes easily. Enjoy those days, but don't depend on them. There will also be days when your body feels tired, your mind feels heavy, and nothing seems to go your way. Those are the days that define champions. Anyone can work when motivation is overflowing. The strongest people continue working when motivation has disappeared and only discipline remains. Winning isn't about being perfect. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to fail. You're going to lose opportunities and experience disappointment. What matters is your response. Every setback gives you two choices. You can let failure define you, or you can let it develop you. Every loss carries a lesson. Every mistake contains wisdom if you're willing to learn instead of making excuses. Don't compare your beginning to someone else's middle. Every person has a different journey, a different timeline, and different battles that nobody else can see. Comparison steals your focus and weakens your confidence. Instead of looking sideways, keep looking forward. Measure your progress against the person you were yesterday. If you're stronger today, you've already started winning. The greatest victories are often invisible before they become visible. Nobody sees the discipline that built your character. Nobody sees the lonely mornings, the late nights, the sacrifices, and the countless hours of preparation. People only notice the moment success arrives. They celebrate the result but overlook the process. That's why your commitment cannot depend on recognition. You must believe in your mission even when the world doesn't see your progress. Your habits are writing your future every single day. You don't accidentally become successful. You become successful by repeating the right actions until excellence becomes natural. Read when others are distracted. Learn when others are complaining. Practice when others are making excuses. Improve when others are settling for average. Every day is another opportunity to invest in the life you're trying to build. There is no shortcut to lasting success. Shortcuts may produce quick results, but they rarely produce lasting greatness. Strong foundations take time to build. Trees that survive storms grow deep roots long before anyone admires their height. In the same way, your discipline, patience, and resilience are becoming the roots that will support every future achievement. Don't rush the process. Respect it, trust it, live it. Remember that your future self is depending on the decisions you're making today. The opportunities you'll have tomorrow are being created by the effort you invest today. The confidence you'll carry next year is being built by the promises you keep today. The success you'll celebrate in the future begins with the discipline you choose in this very moment. Don't allow one bad day to become one bad week. Don't allow one mistake to become a reason to quit. Reset, refocus, rise again. Every champion has bad days. The difference is they never allow temporary failure to become permanent defeat. They understand that consistency is not about never falling. It's about always getting back up. When you make winning a daily habit instead of a distant dream, everything changes. You stop chasing motivation because discipline becomes your lifestyle. You stop fearing hard work because you understand it's the price of greatness. You stop looking for approval because your purpose becomes stronger than other people's opinions. Day after day, choice after choice, you become stronger, wiser, and more prepared for every opportunity that comes your way. So wake up with intention. Attack your goals with urgency. Guard your time like it's your greatest investment. Honor your commitments even when nobody is watching. Let every sunrise remind you that today is another chance to become better than yesterday. Because real winners aren't created in one unforgettable moment. They are built through thousands of ordinary days filled with extraordinary discipline. Win today, then wake up tomorrow and earn it again. Keep doing that long enough, and one day the life you once dreamed about will become the life you live. Most people fall in love with the finish line, but very few fall in love with the process that gets them there. They want the trophy without the training. They want the success without the sacrifice. They want the recognition without the repetition. But greatness has never belonged to those who chase quick results. Greatness belongs to those who are willing to repeat the right habits over and over again until excellence becomes part of who they are. One victory doesn't make you successful. One productive day doesn't transform your life. One breakthrough doesn't guarantee a lasting legacy. Success is never protected by yesterday's achievements. Every morning you have to earn it again. Every sunrise asks the same question. Will you stay committed or will you become comfortable? The answer is found in your actions, not your intentions. The world is full of people who started with excitement but disappeared when the work became repetitive. They loved the idea of success, but they hated the routine that created it. They wanted constant motivation instead of daily discipline. They expected every day to feel exciting, but real growth doesn't always feel exciting. Sometimes it feels ordinary. Sometimes it feels slow. Sometimes it feels like you're making no progress at all. That is exactly where most people quit. That is exactly where the strongest people keep going. The process will test your patience. It will challenge your character. It will expose every weakness you have been trying to hide. There will be days when you wonder if your hard work is even making a difference. There will be moments when nobody notices your effort. There will be seasons when the results are invisible. Those moments are not signs that you should stop. They are invitations to become stronger. Think about the people who achieve extraordinary things. They didn't wake up one morning with unstoppable confidence. They built it one disciplined decision at a time. They repeated simple habits until those habits became automatic. They kept learning after others stopped studying. They kept practicing after others became satisfied. They kept improving after others started celebrating. Their secret wasn't talent alone. Their secret was consistency that refused to break under pressure. You cannot build an extraordinary life with ordinary commitment. Every level of success demands a higher standard. The person you are today cannot expect tomorrow to be different while repeating yesterday's excuses. If you want a different future, you must become a different person. That transformation doesn't happen through one powerful moment. It happens through thousands of repeated choices that slowly reshape your identity. Never let success make you comfortable. Comfort is one of the greatest enemies of long-term greatness. The moment you believe you've done enough is the moment your progress begins to slow. Stay hungry, stay curious, stay teachable. There is always another lesson to learn, another skill to master, another level to reach. The people who continue growing are the people who never believe they have arrived. Every champion understands something that average people often forget. Repetition is not punishment. Repetition is preparation. Every workout strengthens the body. Every book strengthens the mind. Every challenge strengthens the spirit. Every disciplined action is another brick placed into the foundation of your future. While others become bored with repetition, successful people recognize that mastery is built through repetition. Don't underestimate small improvements. A single step may not seem significant today, but repeated every day, it changes the direction of your entire life. One extra chapter read each day becomes dozens of books each year. One extra hour of focused work becomes hundreds of hours of experience. One better decision repeated consistently creates a completely different future. Success is rarely explosive. More often, it is quietly built through steady progress that compounds over time. There will always be people looking for shortcuts. They'll search for secrets, hacks, and easy answers. But there is one truth that never changes. There is no shortcut that can replace discipline. There is no life-changing strategy more powerful than showing up every day with commitment. The process may not always be glamorous, but it always works for those who remain faithful to it. When nobody believes in you, trust the process. When you experience failure, trust the process. When progress feels slow, trust the process. When success finally arrives, don't abandon the process that brought you there. Too many people stop doing the very things that made them successful. They become satisfied, lose their edge, and wonder why their growth disappears. Protect the habits that built your success because they are the same habits that will sustain it. Your identity is shaped by what you repeatedly do. If you repeatedly choose discipline, you become disciplined. If you repeatedly choose courage, you become courageous. If you repeatedly choose excellence, excellence becomes your standard. Eventually, success stops feeling like something you chase and starts becoming something you naturally produce because your daily habits have changed who you are. Imagine waking up every morning with the confidence that comes from knowing you've built strong habits. Imagine facing challenges without panic because you've trained yourself to stay consistent. Imagine living a life where discipline no longer feels forced because it has become part of your character. That is what happens when you refuse to quit the process. You don't just achieve success, you become the kind of person who continues creating success wherever you go. The greatest reward is not the money, the applause, or the recognition. The greatest reward is becoming someone who refuses to settle for less than their potential. It is becoming a person who keeps growing after every victory, who keeps learning after every achievement, and who keeps serving their purpose with unwavering commitment. So don't stop after one win. Don't slow down because you reached one goal. Celebrate your progress, but never let celebration replace preparation. Wake up tomorrow with the same hunger you had on day one. Keep sharpening your skills. Keep strengthening your mindset. Keep pushing beyond your limits. Keep repeating the habits that build greatness. Day after day, month after month, year after year. One day people will look at your life and call you extraordinary. They will admire your strength, your confidence, your discipline, and your success. What they won't see are the countless ordinary days when you chose consistency over comfort, purpose over distraction, and discipline over excuses. They won't see the repetition that shaped your character, but you will know the truth. Greatness was never created in one dramatic moment. It was created by repeating the right process until excellence stopped being something you did and became the way you lived.